Good afternoon, and welcome to the first edition of the Viking Research Report featuring John Rosamondo. I'm your host, and our guest, Dr. Li-Meng Yan. We're going to be discussing the CIA's recent decision to admit the Wuhan laboratory was the likely cause of COVID-19. And Dr. Yan has been out there for years trying to get people to pay attention, and has suffered considerably for her exposing what everybody didn't want to say. So what were your feelings now that the CIA has come out with this administration to say that COVID-19 was the cause of COVID-19? I mean, the Wuhan laboratory, rather.
Hi, John. Thank you. First, congratulations to your first live streaming that broadcast. And yes, so CIA has recently declassified their report. Actually, this report, so it's declassified recently in Trump's new administration. However, it was actually done in Biden's administration, but they didn't publish it until the new administration. So the current conclusion from DIA's report is briefly they admitted the possibility, the likelihood of the lab origin from Wuhan Institute of Virology of COVID-19. However, it didn't get involved too many details, and also that's something we should already have known for years. So that is not kind of very shocking fact or whatever. It actually just show in the past over 5 years, the U.S. intelligence agency and government, someone try to prevent the truth come out, because I believe there's someone compromised. But the truth will come out finally. And what we need to know now is everyone should focus on how it gets released. And according to all the intelligence information I got, and according to my experience in BSL level, biosafety level 3 labs in the WHO reference lab at University of Hong Kong, I can tell you that it's not accident. It's not something like you spill over your soup in the kitchen. So it's not like that. You spill over some kind of tube in the lab, and then boom, it come out like what movie shows. No, it is more sophisticated, and that is part of Chinese Communist Party and Xi Jinping's unrestricted biowarfare program. So,
well, what do you think is the number one reason the West covered up what you knew and tried to silence you? I mean, there's rumors that the CIA was directly involved in Pfizer in China, and that there seems to be a lot of money that was jeopardized. Do you think that money played a role in a lot of this?
Money from U.S. side definitely play a role, but it's not a very important role. To be honest, Americans used to criticize your own government, and that is good. I mean, we need to criticize the government. However, you always ignore the dangers or the intents from your enemies out of U.S. because lack of understanding. And so in this case, yes, there are U.S. taxpayers' money through the government's funding to China and to Wuhan Institute of Virology and to our lab in my previous lab at the University of Hong Kong. And these labs all get involved into China's bioweapon program secretly. However, the money from U.S. is definitely the essential part. The part is China needs to let U.S. believe, so CCP, I mean, they need to make U.S. believe we are the partners. So you share me the money, you share me the knowledge, the technology, the resources, and we can work better for a good future. That's how they brainwash Americans and cheat you. Mike Rubio recently has emphasized again and again in public that communist China regime actually built on the lies. So that's how they build their image, the public image to the world. And your
Well, what do you think about the cover? What do you think was the cause of the cover-up? I mean, why not just simply say?
Because for decades, U.S. government, under the guidance of the directions that you need to treat China as your friend, especially after the Cold War. You thought China was your friend and help you to defeat Soviet Union. So you work with China, and instead, Chinese Communist Party turned it as an opportunity to infiltrate you, to tie with your people, and to manipulate you. So they are like the cancer cells. They go through you, get into all the departments, all the areas in your society, in your government. And the way you channel the money, the funding, the knowledge, the cooperation to China is also the way China use the channel to infiltrate you. So like Peter Daszak, right? He start to get involved into Eco Health Alliance, alliance for since early 2000. And after that, because China has managed to gain more and more opportunity to collaborate with EcoHealth, and then they realize that Peter Daszak is a good person they can use. So Peter Daszak gains his own personal benefits, and China goes through Peter Daszak, gains the knowledge and funds from U.S. government. And that is also very important. So China not really needs this money, because China uses money back to bribe your people, and also to get all build further channel to deeply infiltrate you.
What do you think that
China needs to use this money to tie them with you, and that's why now you are confused. How could U.S. money go to China to fund the Chinese bioweapon program?
I mean, what are some things that you're seeing in terms of other potential bio threats that the Chinese Communist Party is posing against the U.S. and the West? Do you see any dangers of something that could be worse than COVID-19?
We don't know whether it would be worse or not, because COVID-19, according to China's definition, as the CCP is unrestricted bioweapon. So in the unrestricted warfare, it's very successful, because it's not high death rate, but that's what they want, using some novel bioweapon in a low death rate, but to cause the downstream disasters. And because it's low death rate, China could gain more opportunities, more room to make up the nature origin and also other related narrative to create this kind of propaganda and cover up. But there are also many type of the potential bioweapons in their arsenal. We don't know what will happen if the similar outbreak happened in China or somewhere else by using other kind of bioweapon. But what we know is there are high death rate one, like hemorrhagic fever viruses. And also my sources have told us in the past few years until now that there are, like, for example, China want to use high pathogen avian flu. That is for people, laymen, you may know H5N1, right? Chicken flu and bird flu. So yeah, that is one type of the easy manipulated bioweapon, and also high death rate. There are other things. For example, as we have reviewed back to end of 2021, early 2022, in Xi'an, another city like Wuhan in China, there was a secret trial from People's Liberation Army using the hemorrhagic fever viruses in a community. But government claim it is just some dengue, some hantavirus outbreak. And also we know China has been focusing on monkeypox and also the related narratives. China also focused on the insects, the insect spread, so kind of carried by ticks and also in mosquitoes viruses, because this kind of viruses can be easily released through the insects and then infect humans.
What is your reaction to President Trump's decision to pull out of the World Health Organization, which of course is like highly controlled and influenced by the CCP, and Tedros is essentially CCP hack going back to the 1980s. So, I mean, what is your reaction to that?
Tedros is not CCP head. Tedros is an international communist. He's the communist member in his regime, not Chinese communist. But anyway, it doesn't matter because they are in one ally. So the thing is, yes, I totally agree President Trump to pull U.S. Out of WHO. And also we know that because I'm the whistleblower of WHO's cover-up since January 2020, and I have seen how this top leading scientists cover up the COVID-19 pandemic as well as the origin with Chinese government. And basically they are like the puppies in front of Xi Jinping. Not only Tedros, as later I reviewed, for example, last year I reviewed that in 2023, our whistleblower from WHO headquarter office had delivered more information to us, like how Chinese Communist Party from 2003, 2004, that period started to control the General Secretary of WHO, who is a South Korean guy. And then later they control the, of course, the Hong Kong Dr. Margaret Chan, who's the one before Tedros, and then later is Tedros. So in the past 20 years, China has gained very strong control, not only in WHO, but also like the FAO, from it's called the Food and Agriculture Organization, and also so many similar transnational organizations, as well as UN. You see, UN fight against Israel on the side with Hamas. We all see how the.
Well, if we can move into the Middle East. I mean, what is China's goal in the Middle East? I mean, is it to basically be the top global player in the Middle East? Controlling Saudi Arabia, influencing Turkey, Iran, and playing both sides and supporting terrorism?
China supporting terrorism, of course. China want to control Middle East, enhancing the influence and deepen its power, of course. And Chinese Communist Party have been doing it for decades. Yes, of course, these are all reviewed by me and my colleague, Mr. Lude from Lude Media, and also a lot of things get verified. But just think about, we are now at war, unrestricted war, which is launched by Chinese Communist Party. And now you think about the whole world is actually their chessboard. So Middle East definitely, especially Gaza, that area is very important. And China want to control the global transportation. So think about how they control. Now President Trump started to talk about Panama. We know China has gained the control of Panama Canal little by little, and now it's the second largest partner for Panama, right? And also in South Africa, China has gained almost 100% control there. So then they can control the transportation through South Africa area. And now let's talk about Middle East, the Gaza area, and also Egypt, Suez Canal. If China could control all these canals, and also we know they have their strategy developing the it's called North Pole, One Belt, One Road, means the route called around North Pole on the sea. So China, once China gain all these controls, how could U.S. behave as a dominant?
So do you think that Donald Trump will be more competitive with China in places like Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, Qatar, compared to the prior administration that pretty much had no interest in being involved and let China increase its influence?
I believe President Trump has his strategy with his staffs, so I don't know how it would work, but I'm sure that they have seen the potential, not only potential, but also the that kind of under the table ongoing increasing threats posed by China in that area. So I would say like now President Trump is talking about bring Gaza in under U.S. control, and Israel totally agree with that. That is a good move. But how to leverage the forces nearby from those Arabic countries and how to clean CCP's still remaining strong powers in that area, I keep my faith and I hope President Trump could handle it wisely.
I mean, what do you think, is China's main goal, in the Middle East?
China's what? Sorry.
What do you believe is China's main aim in the Middle East?
Main goal. Yeah, so China treats U.S. as a primary enemy. So as long as it could defeat U.S. and make U.S. lose the leadership in the world and the world order oriented, the U.S. dollar-oriented world order, and also the all this order built after World War II, all will get collapsed. So at that time, Xi Jinping can achieve his China dream, and also it's called what Community of Shared Future of Mankind that Xi Jinping sought. So basically, it is fighting between the Western civilization versus the communism plus the Maoism, and Xi Jinping thought it's a dictatorship. So this is for CCP, they called it a decisive battle, and the U.S. either survive, win it, or die, and China win it. That is the final goal. And China, of course, want to win.
Well, I mean, Africa has become a major place, where China's been exploiting. And then, of course, President Trump is after Greenland to keep China out of there. What are your views on the Trump administration's global effort to counter China in Africa, the Arctic, and in Latin America?
So President Trump has pointed out a lot of things and put it on stage that people have ignored for a while. For example, Greenland, the strategic position for U.S. and the Western world, and also how China and Russia try to get it. And also he brings the Panama Canals issue on table, and people now focus on that. People start to discuss and realize, so it's so important, but China has infiltrated for so long. And he has also bring so many other issues. Now we talk about South Africa. President Trump has bring it out because U.S. intelligence definitely should have the information, should have more information than I know, that how China grabs all these kind of resources and control South Africa. And you study communism, you know that how communism rooted in South America for so many years, for decades, right? It's a country now under this, no matter how their government called, but it is indeed the government now is working on the communist path. So that's very, very dangerous. And also, if you do the research or read the Chinese resources like me, you will see not only Chinese working on the economy and also maybe the mining things, but it is actually developing the nuclear energy there. So a nuclear related industries. And the People's Liberation Army, Chinese military control, the nuclear groups have been entered South Africa for years, and also they bring the related resources there. They claim they are going to develop the nuclear energy or the non-nuclear clean energy, but actually that is also the cover up for their secret nuclear weapon related activities in that region.
You mean in Africa? In Africa, there's a lot of uranium and other minerals. So you're saying that the Chinese are trying to create a cover for their nuclear weapons program.
Yes, because China is a country lack of uranium. So in China, they have to mainly, according to our sources, now they mainly focus on the dirt labs, the dirt bombs. So they are using the imported, especially imported from France or other countries, those nuclear waste to develop this kind of dirty bombs. But they also want to get a good nuclear bomb. So how to gain more uranium? And Greenland actually has a lot of uranium mining, and of course, as you
So
said,
you're saying that China is trying to use Greenland for its nuclear program?
So when they look into one region, one area, definitely it's not only for one purpose. Greenland not only for the potential uranium mining and other resources, but also because of its strategic position in geography. So that is upon if China and Russia, because China paired with Russia, if they can gain that position, they can just put their military forces there, and also not only on land but also on the sea, and that is very close to Canada and also close to Alaska, and also that is the very advantage for them to gain the dominance in North Pole. That's what they want.
I mean, what's your view, say, of President Trump's effort to regain effective control of the Panama Canal, which he says is controlled by Chinese interests?
That's necessary. So I have been working on several articles now, short article in my America Out Loud, the voice of Dr. Yan. So first, China has one belt, one road in Panama. And one belt, one road in Panama, the Panama president said now, recently he announced they will quit this collaboration, but it's not that easy because China started this infiltration in Panama through the Hong Kong based billionaire Li Ka-shing's family from end of 1990s. And also from that time, not only Li Ka-shing's group, He Huangpu, entered Panama. Following that, like People's Liberation Army backed Land Bridge Group and has occupied the largest port in Clone Port. And also, based on that, there are China's COSCO, China's shipping harbor engineering, and all the other industrial and the business groups enter Panama. So now, as recently as we have checked all those kind of material from China, you will say China brags Panama is the first one belt, one road from Latin America. And also in Panama, there are even mayors, local mayor, working in CCP's United Front Work Department, which means he's an agent, CCP's agent and official with this kind of open public identity. And also there are the CCP's other covert forces. For example, there are the Veteran Association from People's Liberation Army in Panama. But according to Chinese law, the military members can never quit the military, can never get real retired if the military call you back to fight for Chinese Communist Party. So that means these are people like sleeper cells in Panama. They always can fight under CCP's instruction.
Well, one of the things that I find interesting is everybody's talking about the Mexican cartels and China's involvement in fentanyl. How close is the cooperation, say, between Chinese intelligence and the cartels in Mexico?
Cartels in Mexico now they are defined by Trump administration as terrorism, right? Terrorist groups because they strongly binding with Chinese Communist Party. CCP is their supplier for the fentanyl and other materials for drugs, and this kind of material has very low cost and with China's national power and CCP's international network that could be shipped to Mexico in a very low cost. So that brings a huge benefit to them. And China also takes this opportunity to reform, help the cartels reform, and there definitely are Leninist organization in the current cartels. And the cartels are helping China using their channels to smuggle things and even the weapons to the U.S. And not only that, we have seen the Trojan horse that operation to ship Chinese people from your borders here, right?
Yeah,
among them, tens of thousands, them are the CCP members, all the military trained members. So you see, from South America, like the Venezuela, and then goes through Panama, and then goes through Mexico. So that is already established path for China to smuggle their human forces as well as their materials to U.S. And the final battlefield is in the United States on your soil.
So do you believe that China will support the cartels in carrying out terrorist attacks on U.S. soil?
If not, why does Chinese Communist Party support them? And the CCP is the regime origin from this kind of terrorist association. Communist groups behave exactly like terrorists, and when they become the regime, they gain more power, like national immunity. But basically, it's like how Chairman Mao Zedong behaves, how Chinese Communist Party gains the regime in China, and how Xi Jinping works. These are even worse than the terrorists, because terrorists somehow, some of them still show mercy to their own people, but Chinese Communist Party, no. So if they could sacrifice 1/3 of Chinese people, but in exchange of the win in US to kill all Americans, they would definitely do that.
So one of the things that people have been talking a lot about has been, the Chinese drones, the possible use by cartels, terrorists, like back during the New Jersey drone incident, which now appears to have been American drones. People were talking about how the CCP uses them and could use them against American targets. Do you think that the Trump administration should be paying attention to that?
Of course, I believe Trump administration has paid attention to this U.S. Unmanned vehicles, including the drones in the U.S. from China, and definitely we have provided a lot of intelligence to the government, and we got a very positive feedback. It is very helpful. So I'm not sure what New Jersey drone is, because that is something happened on America and soil, and I'm not in New Jersey, so I just say that
they said they were American drones. So I'm just saying that the Chinese Communist Party using them to attack in America.
Yeah,
we have just a few more minutes left, but I just want to go to Taiwan and what your view is about what Xi Jinping is aiming for there. Do you still see him trying to push for an invasion by 27, or do you think that now that Donald Trump is in office that he might try other things more like subversion?
So this is a battle. This is unrestricted warfare. The situation is changing. So yes, Xi Jinping has his schedule, but it's definitely not a fixed one. It's highly depends on the situation, geopolitical situation. And Taiwan is very important for China because for CCP, it can destroy America's island chain strategy, and also Taiwan, because once they gain Taiwan, they could leverage more global resources, and the nationalism will be increased. That's very important for CCP to so-called inspire Chinese people and to focusing on the war against America. That is the way for their propaganda. And for Taiwan, CCP has very, very deeply infiltrated it, even in the stuff around the president Lai Ching-te. And also you can compare it to currently what happened in South Korea. South Korea President Yin Chi-yue, he has a small administration because Congress is controlled by opposite party, which is pro-CCP. So now they have aimed the coup, and this is actually the so-called peaceful coup, and people look like some kind of political fighting, and so they have arranged it very well. And now Yin Chi-yue is on trial. Sometimes he's in prison, and he cannot care of his the government business. So that's what China want to achieve in Taiwan too. They want the Taiwan Congress, the legislative yuan also remove Lai Ching-te government, and then they call it
well, we're running out of time here. It's been an amazing, first time out with you, Dr. Yan, and thank you for the amazing, work that you've done in exposing the Chinese Communist Party and, the Wuhan laboratory, and I hope that the Trump administration continues. This is John Rosamondo. This is signing off for the Viking Research Report.
Thank you.